So settling down into the chest, low notes. So do this for me. Go. Think of it as more. That's got a little bit of. There we go. And that should be what's behind this hum. To still have your straw?
Not on me, but I can grab one.
No, it's fine. Just emulate what that would be like. So a small opening in the front. Yeah, I would even open. Yeah. Are you allowing for a little opening?
I can.
Yeah, go ahead and try that. Now to go to the hum. Good. Same thing here, hum. Yeah, you're really good at having chiaro in your sound.
Yeah.
Today I want you to focus more on the warmth of the voice. Almost feel like it's not necessarily pinpointed. That it doesn't have the mask resonance that we're looking for. We can add that in a second.
Yeah.
But what I want to do is settle it into that low voice. So think more warm than forward. Good, with that same idea, go down here. Good, go. Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's in a different place than the yeah. Yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. More relaxed feeling. Warm. Settled. Do you feel a stretch of the larynx coming down slightly? You should feel a stretch kind of in these muscles here. Just a little bit more of a stretch with this kind of going down slightly. Even on the hum. So the secret to this, so you're not in a high, this is not a high note.
Yes.
But the secret to executing this is not for your voice type.
what I think that you need to settle on, at least on this note, as you go higher it might change. On this note it should be rather than pinpointing from top down, almost thinking from bottom up.
Okay.
Instead of that's more of, I mean, that's not a dangerous thing. It's not bad for pitch. Your pitch will be pretty good. But what I'd like to have happen with your voice is for your vibrato just to slow ever so slightly into a more relaxed position.
Okay.
And that's going to happen with this more from bottom to top. Okay? That doesn't mean it's permanent. It doesn't mean that it's going to stay, every single piece of your voice is going to be from bottom to top.
Oh.
But for this range, I want to try it. Good. Let's try that same chord and go actually from bottom to top. So, and then back down, okay?
Now try it on ooh. Ooh, really nice open ooh.
Yeah, can I have that same openness and be a little more lazy?
Ooh.
Like you're not trying as hard. Good. And while you tame down the vibrato, what's going to happen is the pitch will suffer somewhat. That is not a permanent thing. Okay? The order of importance for me is beauty of tone, pitch, and then everything else. So while pitch is very important, it's number 2. Beauty of tone is number 1. And so that beauty of tone for you is going to come from that chest connection.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've lost a little bit of that this past couple weeks. Now go. Good. Yeah. Can you go even slower up this scale?
Yes.
I know you. If you run out of breath, take a second and take a breath, but go a little bit slower up the scale and down. Interesting. Did you notice any changes in the speed of your vibrato?
Felt like next to no vibrato, honestly. Almost straight tone.
It was a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, while you're finding that new speed, a more natural speed, this may happen. Okay? And that's all right. Because that little bit faster vibrato is an imbalance of the intrinsic muscles of the larynx, my opinion. An imbalance of the muscles of the larynx. Okay? So as you relax your sort of neck, I mean, the larynx itself, you may get an inconsistency in the vibrato. Okay? I like to tell students, you have to pull the bow back in order for the arrow to shoot forward. Okay? You have to feel like you're regressing a little bit sometimes before it really propels you forward. Okay? So you may feel like that vibrato is going to be almost inconsistent. Well, it was inconsistent, but it might feel like it's straight tone. I don't want you to try to make it straight tone.
No.
What I want is just a relaxed throat. That's where your vibrato is at the end.
Yeah, I felt it. Those last 2 notes.
Yeah, the last 2.
Yeah.
Do that again. That one wasn't as good as the last one.
Yeah.
But you felt it once.
Yeah.
So that means you can feel it again. Yeah? It's right here. Yeah. That slowing the tempo actually, we could go a little bit slower.
Yeah.
I think that might make a difference. Same thing, just a slower tempo. And don't be in a rush, don't be in a hurry, don't feel like if you run out of breath it's a bad thing, just take another one, you know? So that's sort of doing some interesting things. What does it feel like to you?
At least in the key that we're in right now, I really feel like I'm finally getting the chest connection.
Right, A flat is where we are.
Okay.
Just so you know. You're going to feel more of a chest connection down here, obviously, but it gives you the ability to sort of just not worry about how the thing is being placed.
Yes.
You know how I love the word placement anyway. If you haven't heard, I hate it. But it allows you to settle. It's almost the bottom of your range. Not quite, we have a couple more notes to go, but it allows you to settle in such a way where you don't have to feel like you're really pushing the voice in one direction or another. You just let it kind of come out. Yeah, it's coming and going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the ones that are right, and the ones that are wrong. I don't normally sing that way. Maybe it's just a little bit of tightness still from the gym.
All right, settle back in.
Yeah.
On an O, right? Honestly, it can be any vowels.
Yeah.
Just whatever vowel, probably will make you feel more connected. If you want to switch it to Good, that's interesting. Your is actually a little bit too highly placed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be more settled in the chest.
Like your whole body's doing it.
Okay.
Do that for me. Making the sound directly from your support. So it's more of a relaxed feeling than a placed feeling. You know, believe it or not, I think O is better for you. Try O here. Good. The other culprit is not only the intrinsic muscles for having fast vibrato, but if I were to look down your throat, your tongue might be involved as well.
Yeah.
In fact, it is retracting a little bit and creating a little bit, it's kind of an interesting vowel, a tongue-related vowel, a tongue-involved, too overly involved vowel. So as we do these exercises for the next couple of minutes, can you put that tongue either on the top of the bottom teeth or on the back of the lip?
Okay.
Just to be a little bit more forward than what we would normally do. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. One more and then we'll switch to breath. Yeah, it's a little bit more settled. Good, so two things, maybe three things on this one. To get that vibrato a little bit more settled, which it is now. Is it a finished product? Not quite, but the idea is to get better, right? You're not getting, like I like to say, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse.
Yeah.
There's no standing still with singing. So if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So we want it to get better, and it already has. So settling back down into chest voice, feeling more like you're in your range is gonna help slow that back down. The tongue being a little bit more forward in your practice should also help, and never neglect to feel that larynx lowered slightly, okay? Lowered and relaxed. You might feel a stretch if you're used to making that larynx go too high, too tight. It may feel like a passive stretch is what I call it, but that passive stretch is okay so long as this is lowering, your tongue is forward, and you feel like you're really connected to the body.
Okay.
All right? Welcome. So like on the word soon, in IPA that would be the lowercase u.
Yeah.
More like sun.
Sun. Up
Yeah.
in the air. Open.
Something that settles you more into the body. He goes, soon. I'm hesitant to do that one with you because you've been placed so high in the past couple of weeks. You know?
No problem.
Yeah, this is one of the pieces that's going to benefit from that more settled position.
Yes.
And I don't know if you got there yet.
I felt it on some notes, but all the oohs to were sun.
Yeah, it's got to be more in your This is not
No.
the music, is it? It's got to be more. I mean, the first one you did was a little bit too but that's not really the biggest deal. The biggest deal here is where you feel it in your body. It's just too high. It's got to feel a little more. I wish I could demonstrate it better for you, but I'm a baritone, you know, and you may still be a baritone yet, but you're going to have a little bit lower presence than like, you know, anyone else in this institution. So you just have to feel it a little bit deeper. So by yourself, can you sing the first couple of intervals here?
Yes.
Sun, I will.
Sun,
I will be done.
Sun, I will be done.
So even that is sun.
It's kind of placed up here.
Okay.
It kind of has a little high laryngeal position.
Sun, I will be done with the trouble of the world.
Can you say it like that?
Sun, I will be done with the trouble of the world.
Yeah, but send it out with that position.
Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world.
Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world.
Yeah, even more. Do it again. Get used to it. Say it again.
Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world.
Does that feel like it's anchored?
Not quite.
Yeah, you need to feel like it's anchored.
Since you've been singing with a high laryngeal position for some time now, and like I said, 2-3 weeks, I'm not sure how long this has been, but those muscles are going to be used to having your larynx a little bit high. So you have to, it's going to feel like you're bringing the larynx down almost forcefully at first. That larynx is going to feel like you're pulling it down. Now, in the end, should you have a larynx that's pulled down and pressed? No, absolutely not. But when you first start to stretch this out, well, for you again,
Yes.
it's going to feel like you're pulling it down because you're fighting the tense muscles from above the hyoid bone, essentially, above the larynx. You're fighting how taut they are, how just, you know, you go to the gym and they're strong. You're fighting how strong they are and you need to stretch them. And by stretching them, you're engaging other muscles. So it's going to feel a little bit like a tug of war at first.
But you need to be settled down here.
Good. When you do that, don't bring the tongue down with it necessarily. The tongue still stays on the teeth. So you could literally feel it with your finger. You could feel the thyroid go down, thyroid cartilage. Yeah, it's gonna feel omnidirectional. Yeah. In this space, it's kind of nice because you can hear it come back.
Yes.
Right? Try it again. Turn around and send it out into the hall. With the tongue on the teeth. I don't quite see the tongue. Put it on the lips. Good. Now try to sing it. Does it feel like you're pressing it down?
Just a bit.
Yeah, it's
But,
gonna,
yeah,
it'll feel that way until it settles.
stretching.
Yeah. Until it settles back down, you're gonna feel like you're doing a tug of war.
Okay.
You've been singing out of your voice type. That's just that's what happens. When you sing out of your voice type, things happen to the larynx.
Soon I will be done.
Soon I will be done.
There it is.
Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world.
That tongue on the teeth.
The trouble of the world. The trouble of the world. Soon I will be done with the trouble
It's fighting you, but just try that phrase from where you
Yes.
stop.
And body.
Yeah.
So now will be done.
Good. We're gonna have a couple of failures right now. Without accompaniment, just go
Sun, sun.
Sun.
like you're yelling across a field.
Sun.
There you go, in a singing position, but you're yelling across a field.
Sun.
Yeah, but don't add
Yes.
the yeah.
Little
The tongue,
bit.
keep the tongue in the right place there.
Sun. Into a thud now. Sun.
This should move, yeah? There you go.
There it is.
Son will be done. Son will be done. I guess it's the S that's messing me up.
Yeah, that's S. Yeah, think of the vowel behind the S.
Son will be done with the trouble of the world.
So now even your low notes sound better.
I'm feeling the connection.
And your speaking voice sounds better.
It does. Finally better.
You have to do that. You have to stretch that every morning. Above the hyoid muscles are going to tense, and they're going to get stronger. And when muscles get stronger, they have a tendency to get a little shorter and bulgier, right? They get buff. You need to keep those stretched out.
Keep them limber. Keep them
Yeah,
loose.
exactly.
Son will.
Good, you're getting there.
Find your thyroid cartilage, and I want you to bring it just down. Feel it, and then bring it down. I feel the thing stretch down as much as it can. Without singing, just stretching it. So mine can go right here. Yeah?
I don't stretch it down that far when I sing, but you need to stretch these muscles out more.
Bring it down.
Do you feel it stretching up here?
Yeah.
Pulling down here.
It's mostly right here that I'm getting a stretch.
I don't know if that's a stretch. That might be the pull.
Yeah, okay.
All right? Keep the tongue in the same place, though. Even though the larynx is going down, the tongue stays forward. Tongue. Take a second.
Yes.
Take a sip of water, breathe, and then where did you stop?
Good question.
Can you go from the second ending,
Yes.
like after the repeat? The key change, essentially. So even though this is higher, this might be a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not too bad. D flat on the top.
Yeah, but for the sake of your voice, I want to stay low. So let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Let's go back to the beginning. This will be the second time through.
Okay.
Second time through.
So now will be
chest voice, what we're learning to do in your chest voice, because that's the easiest register to find that again. What you have to do there, you have to do in middle voice and head voice. That's the hard part. Because if you've really messed with the throat in a wrong way, then as you go higher, that larynx is just going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. So that for you, maybe you think that the vowel has to change, but essentially the resonator has to be longer than it's been. Longer meaning the larynx has to be lower.
Yes.
So if you wanted to think of it as vowel, that's fine. So if you do that, it'll be
There be no more weeping, and no more weeping.
right. Instead of really correct diction, spoken diction, lyric diction for you and your voice type is going to have a little bit more in it.
There'll be no more weeping, and a wailing.
Right? So a little bit more
Can you start right on the measure? There'll be no more weeping and no wailing. No more weeping and no wailing.
Yeah, that one you have to make sure your tongue stays forward.
Yeah.
Not land. Now with your lips though.
Wailing.
Exactly.
Same spot for me. There'll be no more weeping and no wailing. No more weeping and no wailing.
Good. Now that and, could it be und? I want to see if it sounds weird. Sometimes the active version of and is and, the inactive version is und. I want to see if und actually works. Can you go no more weeping, und a wailing?
The one we just left off.
The one we just left off, yeah.
No more weeping and no wailing. No.
Good. Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
There are active versions of certain
No,
words.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's really strange. Like the word to, to can be ta, depending on context. And can be und, if it's unemphasized.
Okay.
I don't have the complete list in front of me, but it's in the Montgomery textbook. I have it in my office if you want to take a picture of it. We just did it in English Diction. There's a whole chart. There are certain words that have like an active form or an emphasized form and an unemphasized form. And it changes it basically to a schwa, which helps your voice. Helps a lot of people's voices, but it'll help your voice because of the voice type.
Yes.
And,
Did you feel the difference? Instead of and, you're gonna find out that the schwa is your friend. If you haven't already.
On no. No more.
Yeah, no more weeping.
No more weeping and
Oh, it's
It's okay.
Yeah,
No wailing, no. I'm going to live with God.
That one, say good.
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 Okay.
G-U-H-D. Good.
Good.
All right?
I'm going. I'm going to
The
live.
one there is the word to. Yeah, ta. It's
Okay.
an inactive. I forget what she calls it, but it's like inactive or unaccented version. Ta.
I'm going to live with God. I'm going to live with God. I'm going to live with Good.
No, I'm saying good. Yeah, good. So those minor adjustments, I don't want to call them minor because we worked a lot to get there. Tell me what that's like.
It feels great. Even though it's still in the cracks in terms of coordination, the piece feels a lot more consistent for me. Phrasing is a lot easier with this too. I'm always thinking more so about the vowels and how much I can modify and over-modify to make the singing easier, and I guess I haven't been thinking enough about the connection to the floor. Because not a lot of people, at least that I sing with, have voices as low as mine.
No.
So no matter what, I always kind of feel like I'm connected just because it's the lowest in the room.
Yeah, you're not running with another horse.
Yeah,
And
but that feels a lot different.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wish I could apologize, but I can't apologize for my own voice. If I had a voice teacher that was like 6'8", and he was, I believe he's going by a bass-baritone now, but his was, like, it was famous around the school, and we just don't have someone like that here. You know, I'm 5'10" if you stretch me, and a lyric baritone. You know, I can make some of these sounds, but for you, it's going to be there's going to be a lot more depth to it. There's a lot more schwa overall in almost every vowel.
It's all gonna come from here.
And while that will not work for other voice types, it won't work for mine, it definitely won't work for tenors, it certainly won't work for sopranos, coloraturas, it will work for you. I mean, go listen to people like Sam Raimi and listen to see if they have real vowel clarity. They're about the sound coming out of their throat, right? But if you really listen, your mind will go, okay, I'll believe that that's the vowel, but is it? It's probably a lot of Yeah?
Yeah.
Go back and listen to your favorite bass baritones. Even basses. You know, you're not a bass, but the technique doesn't change too much. It's getting that settled chest feeling. And and good, instead of God. Out here it sounds like God. It sounds like you're saying the right vowel.
Even to me, it sounded like God, so yeah.
But you're shaping it good.
Yes.
Which works. Ah vowel is just
Oz,
Let's just
O
say
should be
Oz,
kind of too.
So what is O and Oo? What are they a version of?
Version of
With rounded lips.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're going with strict diction, the tongue position is still ah, and all we do is round the lips. And there's some jaw movement. So if your ah is then your O and oo
Will be
is with rounded lips.
Okay.
What's really interesting about this, when this video comes out, whatever, from beginning to end, your vibrato, it's different. And I want you to listen to how that progressed. And the biggest difference was you just settled the larynx down.
And change some of the vowel shape,
Which is really changing the resonator shape. Do you notice the difference?
In the vibrato, I haven't been listening for it. I try not to.
Good. That's a good thing, but
yeah.
for me to point it out is okay. But for you to like think about it too much, I get that. But listen to it, because it's a difference. It's a lot more settled. I don't notice it is the thing. When it's high and fast, I notice it, and we shouldn't have to notice vibrato. Fast or slow or straight tone, vibrato should not be noticed.
I know what you mean.
It's part of the beauty of tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good. Questions?
No. Yeah, that's good. Feels good.
All of that thing has to be settled. Has to be settled. No matter what genre you're singing, if you do a gig where you have to have a high laryngeal position, because it does happen, Lord knows when I sang Sweeney Todd, I had to do some real exercise after that. So there will be gigs where you have to have a high laryngeal position, but you have to know that there's some interest that has to be paid when you take out that debt.
That's right.
Okay? So that means have your gig, wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and stretch that larynx down. Don't press it, but it's gonna have to be stretched. You're gonna have to find that placement again. Cool?
All right. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.